Good evening, guys. Ken at Tortoise Capital Nightly Strategy Podcast for November 22nd, 2022. We'll start with the sniper trade of the day. This is in U.S. Steel. So we're on symbol X, 3-minute charts. Yesterday's close, gap up, sold off, closed here. So that establishes the OR3 here. Next bar breaks out. We take it long. Standard risk box. By this time in the trade, we should have our stop from here at least to no lose plus dinner for two to lock in this wedge. That makes this a science project. This is the first sign of weakness in that run up, so I wouldn't be offended if you moved your stop to the 1 bar low or the 2 bar low, something like that, and then locked in that extra piece. All of that would be good. At this point in the trade, at the 2 bar low, even the 1 bar low, it didn't break, and it resolved this tension to the upside. There's your R10 wiggle. There's the second entry, so we're holding about 1, 2. That's at about 3R in the first position, and we are locked in already at no lose plus dinner for two on the second piece. Sometimes it's like that. And then sometimes we just take the standard exit where we're supposed to. And that's about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on the first position. 6, 7. That's about 7R. U.S. Steel. Standard work. I was tempted on the short side here, but that was such a strong sector and a strong stock that I just said I'm just going to wait for a COTA 2. Now I'm already regretting that decision. So if you had taken the PSAR flip or waited for the COTA 2 to the downside, by this time you're in the money on both positions, on either entry, so you wouldn't have been wrong. Just my trade plan was just to stay on the long side. So we've got a higher low, PSAR flip, COTA 2 entry, standard risk box, quick loss. This was the next place I considered getting short because of the lower highs. I elected not to because my trading plan was to only take the long side in the strongest stock and the strongest sector in the whole market. And I got a COTA 2 PSAR flip shortly thereafter. Standard risk box. For about 1R. COTA 2 re-entry. For about another 1R. So that's about 9R. without an effort to really optimize that. So that trading plan sacrificed that adverse move. It missed, the short side. There's a leg. There's another leg, which was about half of the move going up, to be honest. But I felt like we got the big move and we got two more little pieces. So uh, the peace of mind and the simplicity of just trading to one side for me was worth it. Here was the market internals today on the 30-minute chart. So this was today. It was basically just an up day, pushing, to the top. Here's the 5-day range, closing at the peak of the 5-day. Here's the 10-day look back. There's the 10-day low. Here's the 10-day high. We are within fighting distance of that with a couple clear targets to the upside. So this felt pretty good. We got one more day before Thanksgiving, expecting low range, and some tactical fireworks tomorrow, but that feels pretty good. If we look at the 30-day look back on daily bars, here's our 1-day range coming out of this nice little doji and was mostly up. We like it. There's your 5-day look, your 10-day, 20, and 30. Here's your 30-day low, 30-day high. So we're well into this next leg up, and all it's got to do is break above 402, and then 410 is suddenly and magically in play. On the 150-day look back, daily bars, there's our 150, 120, 90, 60, 30, 10, and 20. Here's our little 5-day compression. And that's a nice move off the bottom. We are at about the 50-yard line with about an equal split up and down. So that makes this a perfect little compound critical state. This is a fence sitter. You have tight volatility on the 5-day and 1-day. You're right smack in the middle of the 150-day look back, so there's a large move in either direction that pays better than 3-1, using today's range as a risk. And there are some technicals that if it breaks higher than the 30-day high and then takes out the peak of the RL10 here, then there's reason to believe it can make this run up to 420, 410, and then 425 pretty nicely. So that next leg is in play. That's all good. The downside is easy to see. Here were today's sectors. So the S&P was up 1.35. The two best sectors were the Qs, technology leading at 1.4, treasuries 1.42, diamonds 1.16, the Russell 1.07. The emerging markets were the weakest sector at only 0.24, but everything was above the cut line between winners and losers. Tesla finally turned it around a little at 1.22. Not as strong as tech and not as strong as the market, but that's a sigh of relief for those holding the world's most important stock. All right, let's look at what was stronger. Again, S&P baseline at 1.35. Our first cluster was lumber, oil, and biotech at 1.38. Then Marijuana, commercial real estate, S&P Tech to 1.94. Bitcoin, materials, and Ethereum up to 2.5. Uranium, wheat and precious metals, oil exploration up to 4%, 3.5, and 3. The strongest companies. Here's our metals. Alcoa, U.S. Steel, and Cliff, all very strong today. Here's our semiconductors. NVIDIA, Intel, and Texas Instruments. So those two favored sectors of ours were all good, all working today, all better than the market. And there's Devon Energy, also better than the market. To round it out, Coinbase, Robinhood, Rivian, and Apple, Squarespace, all looking pretty good. Underperformers today. Again, for relevance, the baseline, the S&P at 1.35. First underperformers, the FANGs, Lumber, Mexico, down to 1.26. Discretionary, 1.13. The big cluster here of blended commodities, finance, clean energy, staples, residential real estate, ARC Innovation, Aussie dollar down to 0.26, between 1% and 0.26. And you get agriculture right on the edge of the wins versus losses at the cut line. ARC Genomics, Lithium, minus 0.4. Brazil and VIX, 2 and 3.5% respectively. PayPal, one of the few individual targets in under 4, minus 0.9. Mexico, underperforming 1.23. All right, let's look at the traders today. Just a couple to look at here from Nolan. Here he is in U.S. Steel. So that's the trade to mine you just saw. He got the second position after the R10 wiggle and then a re-entry. This is a good shot. He resisted the urge to short. He plays this one. I'd like to see you make something on that rather than just plain scratch, because we were in it for a little bit of a win. But good work all the way through. For total of 1R, we'll take it. Comes with practice. Devon Energy, he's in the green on this one. This is a little trickier. Here's the OR3. So he should be getting short here. When it does this, we should not be losing money on that trade. Stop and reverse for a scratch. Kata 2 gets paid. There's another Kata 2. Here's a PSAR flip, which would have paid off all day, but that's a good finish for 0.3. Good patience. All right, we'll shift to the reports. That's all we had from the traders today. So we're on dashboard 1. We're back into sideways normal. Hooray. Very strong short term and improving on the longer term. That's all good. Risk on, abnormally good, and it's starting to get that little Kata 2 to the upside. That's favorable. Diamonds, Cisco, Procter, Walgreens, IBM on the upside. Max Payne's, Tesla, Intel, Disney. I like Tesla right now. I think there's a chance for it to get some legs. Yeah, Deb, go ahead, post that. Post your charts quick. Yeah, just show U.S. You can post them both, Bill. Uh, we already looked at mine on U.S. Steel, but you probably crushed it with the 2R. On that initial run up, it was off the chart. The Dow Tactical, just about everything benefiting from the relief rally, and only a handful of auto framers in McDonald's and 3M, Tesla, United Health. Lots to choose from on the upside. Hey, can you post those in the chat room, Bill? It's paying for me to upload them from here. Never mind. I'll try it. Oh, okay. Um,
They're in the chat room.
okay, thanks. ETF 30, a handful of dojis, a lot more auto framers. Now these euros are going to benefit from a recovery in the U.S. market because they fell further. So those are on the table. But you had a nice breakout to the upside in diamonds, in treasuries, in finance, and then in the cluster here of defensive plays like staples, utilities, and healthcare. Hard to go wrong there. I would just note that there's a lot of squeezes in play today because of the very small range on the daily. So you're going to get a lot of really nice plays. And what I really like because of that is Tesla as a squeeze, and diamonds as a squeeze, and the S&P as a squeeze. The whole market is in that condition, and it's ready to bounce tomorrow going into Thanksgiving. And remember, Friday is a shortened session, but it is open for trading on Friday. We're going to look now at there's just a couple Godzillas today, LUMN and Bitcoin. Just a quick look here. Only DLTR is on for the most volatiles is at green and green. Otherwise, your very volatile ones have really calmed down a lot. That's actually a recipe for upside moves because when they break out of that consolidation, the move to the upside is really interesting. Cisco, Juniper, um, Bed Bath and Beyond, PayPal, Merck, Hershey. Hershey is excellent. HSY, and it pays 2% dividend. In the agriculture, selling chocolate, hard to argue against Hershey. That's a really well managed company, and their employee retirement fund has made a boatload by just owning their own stock. Yeah, United Health is in great shape too. Otherwise, the basic stats. This one tells the tale of the tape on the NDX summary, just about everything you like. But the thing to notice is when you have such a profoundly broad move, notice that the long term winners are the ones that really benefit from that kind of relief rally because they're already in a leadership position and it's like they have a head start. So IBM and Merck continue to dominate. And Diamonds, DIA, continues to dominate. All right, let me see if I can pull up my brother's 2R battle drill frame on U.S. Steel. Hold on. Sure, I got both of those. Cliff and that's Cliff on both.
The capitalized Cliff is actually U.S. Steel.
Okay, so this is Cliff, and he's playing the U.S. battle or the 2R battle drill. So he gets the first PSAR flip, automatic second entries, and a second run for 9. And then, yeah, the 2R battle drill. I mean, if you like the 9R that I got in U.S. Steel, you might be interested in the automatic 2R battle drill for adding positions, which doubled that performance. He gets 21 when I get 9. And none of that is with that double leg downward, but he gets the 2R battle drill here and then is all out. So that's a 26R day in steel companies. I might just have to show that one with Alpha Mind is scheduling me. They are one of the leading AI's podcasts in the world from the UK. They've invited me to get interviewed about how we approach trading and preparing traders for their global podcast. So that could be fun. Maybe I'll show this one. All right, guys, that's everything I got. We're getting ready for another good day at work tomorrow. Keep your wrist measured and your powder dry.